But I have to talk about restorative nursing and how impactful that it has been, just looking at this program and continuing to adapt it to our real world, right? We don't have restorative aides, we have CNAs that are doing care. And so I mentioned lead CNAs, and that's our leadership at that level. That has been the most powerful thing that I've ever been a part of in my nursing career, is seeing this group of, now we have 9 lead CNAs, do peer-to-peer coaching and mentoring and talking and teaching others on how to provide this type of care. And so one of those lead CNAs is really passionate about restorative nursing. And she said, why are we doing the same thing for everyone? Why can't we incorporate what matters into the restorative nursing care plan? She took a resident that, you know, in her restorative care plan said to stand at a handrail for 15 minutes. And she said she loves putting on makeup. Let's let her stand at her sink and put that in the care plan. Put that, it says, and her care plan says, her restorative care plan says that I need to stand at 15 minutes at my sink to put on my pink lipstick because that's what matters most to me. And so as she's doing her makeup, she's getting strengthening. She's having a meaningful moment with her CNA, which we know is all of our why. We've all had many aha moments of why. And it's about creating and celebrating these meaningful moments we have with older adults. And so our restorative work has led to that and beyond. It's also helping empower the CNAs to make positive change at the bedside. And I'll never forget, I was up there going through this age-friendly PowerPoint that we created, and the CNAs are like listening, like, this is pretty cool. And I said, well, we started the shadow boxes. Let's go do care for one of our residents. And he was a veteran. That's what mattered to him. He had his ship number in his shadow boxes. And so we pulled up his ship on YouTube. As he's watching his ship actually leave the port, and he's amazed that it's on video, we're doing his, ADL care. And I looked at him and said, okay, like, put your shoes on. It's time to put your shoes. And the CNA is looking at me, and he's looking at me. And he's like, okay. And he puts his shoes on. And he looked at me and thanked me. And he said, it's been 3 years since I didn't think I could do it anymore. I didn't think I would be able to put my shoes on anymore. And that CNA was like, oh my gosh, because he was so proud that he was able to do it. We were engaging with him. And she ran out and told all the peers, Tony can still put his shoes on. Put it on the day planner. He was so proud that he was able to do it. He was using fine motor skills. He was using his mobility. And that's how we really help sustain this model of care. It's just by continuously learning, celebrating each other, and most importantly, our residents, and how, aligning their care with what matters most. So that's one of the many treasures, but where, it starts with the CNA. Our CNAs are so close to the work. They have the answers. They have the answers to the person-centered care with what matters, but they have really taken our delirium approaches and enhanced it to have better outcomes for our patients or our residents. And so the UP2 is an assessment, a very quick assessment that our CNAs session. So we'll start with dementia. That is something that our nursing home takes a lot of pride in, doing a lot of education, interactive education. So we saw the opportunity to really look at our antipsychotic medication utilization and give our team approaches that work well for our residents living with dementia with distress reactions. And that number continued to drive down as we introduced person-centered interventions. We recently introduced Embrace, which fit really organically in with the 4M framework. Embrace is our integrative care program that uses different non-pharmacological techniques to help our residents relax. And we also utilize our sensory room, which we are so excited that we have seen the effectiveness of that. And really from people that are hyperactive, hypoactive, we used it with our residents experiencing distress reactions, and it worked really well. And that's really engaging our frontline team, our CNAs, our lead CNAs to really act on. And so this is an example of our sensory room, and it really is important to manage these behaviors before utilizing a medication. There's a technique called the M technique, which our CNAs were trained on, our nurses were trained on our dementia care, our memory care neighborhood. And it's a structured movement on pressure points. And I had a CNA come to my office so excited. She said, I just utilized this technique and it worked. And the nurse asked me what I did for my resident that was really distressed. And she said, I was just gonna give her a PRN Ativan, and she calmed down with this technique. So we were able to stop that. And there's been many stories of successes on our sensory room, on utilizing non-pharmacological approach to manage distressed reactions, and also the other M's, delirium and depression as well.
She's gonna ask another question.
Yeah, that's an excellent transition.
Hi, thank you. So our journey really was about incorporating, and I'm just gonna reiterate what you said because it was so important, to go to our team and say it's one more thing, it's a project. That's not how we approached it. We started with one neighborhood, one resident, and implemented the 4 M's into the care that we were already doing. A lot of regulatory assessments are a part of the 4 M's, which we'll get into later. There is, it was something exciting and really re-energized our team. And so we started with one resident, started on one neighborhood, and saw the 4 M's be incorporated in the care, and it spread like wildfire. We started with our count. We wanted to do 5 residents a month, and our team surpassed that to 20 in a month. So it was really about just communication, working with our interdisciplinary team, and incorporating the 4 M's into the care we're already doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Taylor. Yes, all those small tests of change, starting with one person and then kind of moving it throughout.